This is TWiT.
This episode of Tech Break is brought to you by ACI Learning. Your IT skills are outdated in about 18 months. Stay ahead of the curve and strengthen your IT expertise with affordable certification-based learning that will launch or advance your career. Individuals use the code TWIT30 for 30% off a standard or premium individual IT Pro membership at go.acilearning.com/twit. I think the big story for Amazon this week is the EU is mad because they say Amazon Prime is using dark patterns. Actually, I'm sorry. It's not the EU. It's the US. It's us.
FTC. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
FTC has
the
sued
iRobot
the iRobot's EU. I get them all confused. Okay. Actually, this is Lina Khan's FTC suing Amazon over manipulative tactics used to enroll millions in Prime, according to the Wall Street Journal, using dark patterns, not so much to get you in, but to make it hard to get out. Unfortunately, the filing, the FTC filing, was heavily redacted. Did you look at it, Jason?
Oh, I attempted to. Yeah, there was more black than I don't know what, but yes. Yeah, so definitely an issue. I mean, they are alleging, in some cases, especially, when someone thinks they're signing up for just Prime Video, they're kind of getting pushed in the direction of the more expensive Prime offering and a couple other tricks and other dark patterns using on the way in to get people signed up. But then they were also alleging that the 16-step cancellation process, which Amazon has largely corrected, I think, the FTC alleging not until April of this year. So yeah, that was not necessarily the FTC complaint that many people watching this dynamic were expecting, but perhaps just the first of two with something on the antitrust front coming eventually that we've been waiting.
I'm curious because I think politically this might not be the first thing I would have filed as the FTC, because I think people, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they like Amazon Prime.
I mean,
I didn't know people actually got the video service without the shipping service. I thought the video service just kind of came for free with the shipping service, because I've had the shipping service since it started.
Me too.
And then I got video. Yeah. And then they're like, no, I get video. But if they killed that, if they killed the video part or separated it out, I wouldn't get it anymore. I'd be like, okay, whatever.
You get a lot. You get Amazon Prime members get unlimited photo storage for free. The delivery for the 2-day delivery,
I get many Amazon
seems to be a little less than it used to be, right? Like
I get mine on the same day. Like I get mine on the same day.
Well,
I get them in the
sometimes
morning.
It's the same day, and sometimes it's 2 weeks from now, and it's not clear what it's going to be. Go ahead, Jason. Explain that.
No. I mean, I've been trying to some parts of the U.S. Where I live now in New Jersey. Overnight on.
If you have a warehouse near you, you get it right away, right?
Which I do. There's one in Napa.
Yeah,
I think that's what.
Yeah, and we have one being built in our town, but we have many others. But in some parts of the country, I mean, I had a piece on this last year. 2-day Prime just sort of completely went away, and the company's just not saying, and it's not better than 2-day. It's become worse. And actually, had a former Amazonian logistics data analyst volunteer to do a little test and study for me, and in some parts of Washington State and some other regions in the country, just with the pandemic, it kind of just went away for good. But companies I was never able to figure out exactly what's going on there, but for many people, like Alex is saying, it has gotten faster. It's kind of luck of
it's inconsistent.
You're living right now.
It definitely feels like
it's definitely a cost center for Amazon. I don't know if they make money on Prime. And they certainly are trying to push you to, for instance, delivery day, saying, "Oh, everything comes on Monday. It all comes on Monday. That'll save you gas and stuff." So
I do like that. It is if you aren't rushing to get your item, that is the most environmentally friendly way to go about it.
Yeah.
But especially if you order multiple items a week.
I didn't know this. Somebody, Minuteman in our
items a day.
Oh gosh, I have an Amazon package at the door every day. It's not just me; it's a family worth. Mike Mann says Amazon Prime includes Grubhub free delivery. Who knew that? I didn't.
It does. I knew that. So we've been doing that.
But my point is that politically, I don't know if people are going to support attacking Amazon Prime, because I think. It's hard to, or it used to be hard to cancel it, but most people never cancel it.
Well, I think it's so and I think that the lock-in for Amazon is on the other side too. Like you go to Whole Foods and you drop off your stuff you don't want. And that at first I was like, how does this make them money? Because they ask you not to even put them back in the box. You know, they're not going back on, they say, don't put them in the box, just bring them over.
We're going to throw them out. Yeah.
No, they don't throw them out. I actually had a conversation with someone about this. It's in
They put them in a giant bin. And they ship it to Amazon where they throw it out.
No, they there's a box at Whole Foods and they scan them and throw them in, scan them, throw them in, scan them, throw them in. It'll never come out of that box. It goes to a box. It goes somewhere, and people who sell stuff on eBay.
Right.
They get told what's in it. They're not told what the condition is, but they're told like, hey, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. And this is the price of the box. Like you take it or leave it. You're not, and then they go and they buy it and it's it's pennies on the dollar.
But that's a good way to recycle it. That's better than Chinese kids burning it and causing cancer.
Yeah, they're selling it back they're injecting it back into eBay and they're letting people do whatever they're going to do with it. But people get to see what's in it because they scanned it. It's a very efficient system. But I was still like, they're losing a lot of money. They're not, it felt like they're losing a lot of money. But I realized
there's no way to make money on returns. You're going to, or save money. This is going to cost you a huge amount.
But what I realized is I am super resistant to buying anything that's on Amazon anywhere else, because if I buy it, I know that I can just take it to Whole Foods the next time I go pick up my arugula, and I just drop it off and move on. And I'm like,
I'm going to ask Jason, but my guess is Amazon does a lot of these things that seemed like a very good idea in the early stage of enshittification when they were trying to build their customer base. But late stage Amazon, these are cost centers that they would love to get rid of. Jason, am I right?
Yeah, they've been. I mean, they've given us this convenience, but you're right. It has become problematic as they scale. And so you see, we do UPS drop off for free in our town, and no packaging, nothing. Although my wife actually will package stuff up just to get rid of the cardboard, all the cardboard that we have. And I don't know if that's doing anything better for the environment, but she likes to think it is. But now they're experimenting with charging again $1 for UPS drop-offs, or we have a big delivery. If we bring it to Kohl's, it's free, but if we bring it to UPS now, it's going to be $7. And so they are, the return logistics is super costly, and I think they're still trying to sort it now as they cut costs in other areas. Yes, it's expensive, but it is so, like Alex was saying, I mean, it's such a lock-in just to know you can order 77 variations.
Absolutely.
I bought all these. I was trying to figure out long USB-C cables for my little cameras, and I just bought like 4 sets. Just 4 different versions, and then I just took 3 sets and I gave them back to them. Like I was like, no, these don't work.
I'm not proud to admit this, but last night I couldn't find my Ethernet adapter, and for overnight delivery, I needed to hit the minimum.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I bought 2,
right?
Just
2
to
different
hit
ones to make sure,
and to hit the minimum, and and one will go back tomorrow.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
I could do a little pattern recognition for us on the dark patterns issue. You guys will remember that the FTC also came after Epic Games for that. And they ultimately settled that complaint for $245 million.
Can you explain it? What is the dark patterns that they're talking about?
By the way, Vonage paid $100 million. Same thing, how hard it was to cancel. I'll read you. Let me read.
That makes it the dark pattern, or the.
Let me read you the complaint, or part of it, the part that we can see underneath the black marker from the Wall Street Journal. The complaint alleged that Amazon used, quote, manipulative, coercive, or deceptive user interface designs known as dark patterns, end quote, to dupe users into automatically renewing Prime subscriptions. Amazon leadership slowed or rejected changes that would have made it easier for users to cancel Prime because those changes adversely affected Amazon's bottom line. They talk about how many clicks to to get Amazon Prime, which is a couple, compared to how many clicks, at least until April, to cancel Amazon Prime, which was a 4-page, 6-click, 15-option cancellation process. Amazon internally called the Iliad flow in a reference to Homer's endless Trojan War story. The agency said the, quote, labyrinthine procedure, end quote, was designed to make it cumbersome and confusing for customers to cancel Prime. So go ahead, Denise, explain to us what are dark patterns and why are they wrong?
Dark patterns, you see them every day. They are every time you come to a decision point that involves commerce usually, or involves some sort of giving up of your rights or acceptance of terms.
Media sites are terrible.
It's like all those GDPR things that
all the
like,
GDPR. Ooh, well,
you
the
can say
EU,
yes, or we're going to give you a whole bunch of pages. You can't actually find the button.
Right. So the EU actually cracked down on that. And you may have noticed there's been a shift in all those GDPR cookie warnings that you're getting, where it used to be that they could default you to opting in to all the data collection, et cetera. Now they have to default you to opting out, and you have to affirmatively check that you're going to opt in. Because the EU also, like our FTC, is no fan of this practice. So it's when there's a big colored button that makes it attractive and you almost, rush to go click that. And there's something small or grayed out or white or whatever that is, your eye doesn't go right to it.
Microsoft does this like
the
crazy.
Right choice.
Microsoft does this when you're going to buy Windows 11 or upgrade to Windows 11. Big colorful button that says yes, and then barely discernible because it's gray on white or something. It says, or you can just not do it, but we don't. Please,
right?
Those are so we've all experienced dark patterns like crazy.
Yes.
But the is this a new trend that the FTC is cracking down on these?
Seems to be. I didn't know about Vonage, so that's 3.
There's definitely been other cases in e-commerce or online retail for sure, and so
good.
I mean, it is good. People love Amazon Prime.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know politically if it's if everybody's going to say, "Oh, yay! Finally, the FTC's cracking down on Amazon Prime." It was it was the same problem with zero rating back in the day when telecom companies would not charge you bandwidth costs for certain streaming services, which to a consumer is, hey, that's great. What's wrong with that? But if you're a competing streaming service that doesn't get that, it's like, see, they're putting their thumb on the scale. Very hard to tell consumers this isn't good for you. I've tried to explain why zero rating is bad for years, and it's with little success. Here's the website, deceptive.design. I've referred to many times. This is, I love it, is a hall of shame of dark patterns, and there are a lot of them. There are a lot of them. In fact, 24 for Google, 20 for Facebook, 17 for Amazon, 12 for Microsoft. The Trump campaign has 9. LinkedIn has 8. Instagram has 8. Apple 7. And that's just what's in the Hall of Shame. This is a great site if you're confused about why dark patterns are a bad thing. And apparently there are, federal laws against dark patterns in the U.S. as in the EU.
I think
there are laws against deceptive practices.
Right. That's why this is called deceptive.design, not dark patterns.
Yeah. Yes.
I think this is as an iPhone user why I'm so attached to the iPhone stores, because I can always cancel all my subscriptions. I can see where they all are and just go, no. And the idea of me having to deal with like figuring out where I was subscribed to what, I'm not excited about.
Here, Denise, also, you'd probably be interested in this. Epic Games, this is also from deceptive.design. Epic Games paid $245 million to settle charges they were using deceptive patterns at Fortnite. Our sponsor, Noom, the diet app, paid $62 million to settle charges they were using deceptive patterns in their subscription and auto renewal process. AT&T paid $105 million. This is all to the FTC to settle charges they were adding unauthorized fees for services. That's not a dark pattern exactly, but it's deceptive for sure. And there's a long list of effective lawsuits in the EU and the US on this website. It's a good source. If you're wondering, there were 90 total decisions against companies for deceptive patterns.
Yeah. And you can imagine, I mean, the problem, obviously it's a problem whenever you do it, but when you're targeting young people and children, and they're spending the family money, that's particularly
well, if my kids want to subscribe to Amazon Prime, damn it, I'm going to let them. It's good for all of us. Actually, that's another thing. Amazon Prime, everybody in the family gets a benefit, which makes it even harder to cancel. I know I canceled YouTube Premium, and man, did I hear about it from the 6 family members who were all suddenly getting ads on their YouTube.
I don't even know how someone could watch YouTube without
you
premium.
have to pay
like
for
I've
it.
had it for so long, and when I've had it where I've changed my credit card or something, so it goes off for a day. And I am like, it is mind numbing. Like, it's like, how would you ever watch this content without turning?
May I introduce you to my 10-year-old son?
He can watch through those ads. He's fine.
He thinks it's all the same. He's just
it's more content.
Just more content.
Do you find that he,
when he's 13, he'll be beyond it?
Jason, do you find that he wants to buy a lot of the stuff he sees advertised on his Minecraft
he is
videos?
He is so basketball obsessed that frankly, it is. I don't hear about anything else. I probably should occasionally watch over his shoulder, though.
See what he's seeing. Yeah. So he's watching basketball videos.
That's all.
Interesting.
That's all for now. Now.
So the real reason.
If he wants to watch football in the fall, YouTube is the place to do it.
So exciting.
Yep.
As a Pittsburgh Steeler in San Francisco, I'm super excited about that because I can finally watch all the games.
Yeah. so is our unaccountably addicted to the Green Bay Packers 20-year-old son. I don't understand how this happened, but he will be able to watch.
Well, I mean, everybody knows that the Steelers and the Packers are the only cool teams.
Apparently so. Okay. Michael's going with Lisa and his father to Green Bay this fall to watch a Packers game at Lambeau
that'll be
Field.
cool.
It's a really cool field.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I worked a Green Bay game. It was really cold. That's all I can remember. Like, I can't feel my fingers.
Well, there is a debate in the family. I say they should go in December or January where you get the real fan experience. And ideally, as a Packer fan, he'd paint himself half gold, half green and take off his shirt in the 40 below weather for the real Lambeau experience. And if it's snowing, extra points. Anyway, back to the FTC. What are their odds? So Lina Khan has really, this was the promise made when Biden nominated her chairman of the FTC. She had already written as a professor at Harvard?
No, he's a student, Yale
PhD student, right? Or law school. Okay. Written a number of anti-big tech articles in the Law Review. So we kind of knew what we were going to get. Denise, grade her performance so far. She's certainly been fairly aggressive.
You want to let her grade? That's tough. I think we have to let this play out a little bit more.
Yes, that's a good point until we know whether it succeeds. Yeah.
But as far as, I mean, she seems to be very aggressive, particularly on the question of child online safety. And I mean, it's hard to argue with the fact that we could use some help in that regard, but I just don't know that Lina Khan and the FTC are sophisticated enough about how to implement and enforce.
She's been in office exactly 2 years, since June 15th. She has a 3-0 majority on the FTC. Let's not forget that she's also got a commission, but the Republicans haven't filled out their 3 seats. So I think she's been aggressive. Tim Wu says she's doing the stuff Congress should be doing, taking on privacy, non-competes, and AI. She's rebooted the antitrust law, right? Brought it back into prominence. There was very little antitrust action in the last 10 years under Republican presidents, right?
Yeah.
And Obama, I should point out, didn't do much either.
if the alternative is to leave it to Congress to do these things, then,
U.S. Chamber of Commerce says she's trying to ruin American business and entrepreneurship with onerous and unfair rules. Okay.
She's not alone, though. I mean, she's hand in glove with the EU and California and some other states.
That's true.
Did you know there are now 144 pending proposed child online safety laws in the United States?
Almost all of
the
them
various states.
Bad, though, right?
You got me. I haven't read all
the California laws. No, but I'm sure they're based on the California law, which was, I think, not a good direction to go and effective. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. This is the problem with government regulation. I am not anti-regulation by any means, but there's always this risk that the government will be slow and heavy-handed and misunderstand the problem.
I don't think that the government is capable of it, to be honest. And I think the problem isn't so much that they don't care or that they're wrong. It's just the to what Denise was kind of talking about. I don't know if they have the tools to do this well. Like, I don't think that they have. And when it has to go through that process, it may look like a scalpel when you started talking, but by the time by the time it becomes law, it's a dull broadsword that you're just swinging around. And and I think that that's the real problem with a lot of these things. I think that we have to think about what's safe for kids. Something obviously, if you look at the data, something obviously is going wrong. Like, something is going horribly wrong, and it starts at about 2013, and then depression starts spiking. All kinds of problems have happened because of online access. We don't know exactly. I don't think anybody knows. There's in other communities I'm in, there's a lot of discussion about that. No one really understands the math of what it is, because it's not clear whether it's Facebook or it's Twitter or just messages, like just going back and forth. But there's something going wrong, but I don't know if the government has the apparatus, to actually make any meaningful change.